Might be something of a waste if you don't hit the button.
I've hit the button. Hello, everybody. We are ready for more MSQ? Say we're ready for MSQ.
We are ready for MSQ.
Woohoo! Let's do some MSQ. Come on. Yeah, you're level 88 Bard. You're not that far behind. Though I've got like less than a tenth of a bar to 90. Wow.
And how many of your classes are 88 to 89 at the moment?
Well, that's because I've been working them hard in, well. Check in with the Loppers real quick.
Oh, yes.
By the way, your obs needs to turn on.
Oh. Should have said that before.
If you're too busy to show the sights, we'll find our way to keep ourselves amused. Don't you worry. That's what worries me.
No, that worries me.
Growing way is you.
Crikey, I wasn't expecting to see you here.
Well.
I'm sorry I didn't have a chance to say goodbye, and for, having those other Floverets attack you. Terrible misunderstanding that.
That is okay. We understand.
Not to worry, though, as all have since recovered from the rather savage beating you administered. They bear you no ill will. Well, perhaps a little, on account of the savagery. But time heals all wounds. Most, anyway.
This is what you get for attacking someone who's very skilled in combat. Please and thank you.
And several times your size.
Yeah. How marvelous it is to see you again. You will be pleased to hear I've learned much since our fascinating discussion at the Curatorium. It's all thanks to Rylea, you see. He taught me the finer points of cooking, which, despite my name, I knew very little about. So many dishes, so many hard-to-pronounce words. Actually,
he's introduced you to French cooking.
Actually, I was rather hoping he'd show me how to bake an Archon loaf. They're quite popular out here, though it doesn't sound like it contains any flavor to speak of. Still, if that's the sort of thing your kind enjoys, I shall make I shall make enough to last the whole journey. No, that's okay. You needn't bother.
Please,
We'll
don't
all
bother.
be better off if you don't do that.
What a joy to sample the delights of Atreus. Thank you, Singing Way.
Wise guides. Try as he might, Rylea cannot free himself of the Lopperids. A tour of Labyrinthos. An unexpected yet prudent suggestion. Given the similarities betwixt this artificial environment and Bestway's burrow, it would be in our best interest to have the Lopperids acquaint themselves with those conditions deemed optimal by their Shirleyan collaborators. I fear, however, that continued reliance upon my limited knowledge would risk narrowing, rather than broadening, their perspectives. Mayhap thou art better suited to lead this venture.
Are you sure about that?
You're just trying to hand them off to us.
What a marvelous idea! Might we begin with the great big what's it over yonder?
Ah, yes. The what's it? I shall leave its explanation to Rylea. Rylea has just foisted the tour guide duty off on us.
Yes, he has.
And boy do I mean it when I say foisted.
Yeah, he's a very good leader. He knows how to delegate.
He knows how to get out of Dodge.
No, he's still hanging around. If he wanted to get out of Dodge, he would have bailed by now.
He's just waiting for the appropriate moment.
Cooking way. This is all very intriguing, I'm sure. But where are the food preparation stations? The, what's the word for it? Kitchens!
The restaurants are kind of elsewhere.
That reminds me, Puddingway, our newly appointed chef of pudding research, a discipline he himself founded after sampling Urianger's delight, has gone in search of Atreus' ultimate sweet treat. Well, provided it's
that
a pudding...
That also scares me.
You have no idea. Well, provided it's a pudding, as that's all he ever talks about these days. Have you seen him?
Yes.
Yes, as a matter of fact, we have. Growing way.
My word, what magnificent architecture. Such immaculate curvature. I'll have to make several adjustments to my work if I'm to match this degree of craftsmanship. I shall leave no corner unrounded. That's also not necessary.
Considering Singing Way and Growing Way's specialities, I expect them to pay full attention to your explanation, of which I am sure will be most informative. Husbando, what do you have to say for yourself?
Lopert's technical expertise doth far outstrip our own. We would be wise to allow them to form their own conclusions as to the function of the various apparatus, rather than offer uninformed suppositions of our own. Unless, that is, unbeknownst to me, thou art possessed of surpassing knowledge concerning the construction and operation of advanced Shirlian... whatsits.
Could this be to build something so large without creation magics? It's positively stupendous. Perhaps you can direct our attentions to the most important features?
Perhaps. Actually, double-check Singing Way.
Splendid! The perfect spot to which to view this astonishing apparatus.
Destination is right under Rift.
No, I'm trying to think. This is one of the well water stations? Maybe? I don't remember.
Probably.
It was over on the sides was the atmospherics.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah.
Search the apparatus for points of potential interest. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out. Oh, good.
Metallic 2. Yeah, I think this is one of the pumping stations. Is that water I hear from inside the great big tube?
Yeah, you can see the water wheel.
It must be because of those cogs and the giant wheel at top. Oh, I see! That's how they draw up the water. This is probably some sort of spiral-shaped mechanism inside, too.
An Archimedes screw, probably.
Yeah.
And this would be the one of the weather generator stations, yeah. What is going we? Adventurous Ambystoma. What are you doing there?
And he moves. Come back here.
Yes.
What are you doing here? You spot an ambystoma.
An ambystoma. An especially lively one at that.
Oh god, I hope it's not the same ambystoma.
It would appear that the concept you observed in another time, another place, was approved for life in the wider world. Somehow.
Oh dear gosh. There's the tanks
Oh,
up
I'm glad
top.
I spotted that.
Yeah, he was hidden. Good eyes.
Tanks next?
Yeah. It seems a little hard to see from here, but those golden pipe connected to the top of those tanks? I can see through the window another pipe at the bottom. Ah! It must be for purifying water drawn up from below.
Yeah, the way I spotted him is he was going wee, and I saw the speech bubble. Observe the mushroom-like thing. Right.
Mushroom-like...
Over on the right. And up.
Ah! Mushroom-like thing. like the trees in the greatest Innsvale. Hold on, that bit of strange shape. It's thin at the bottom, but big and round at top. Quite tall for something so unbalanced, too. Now it makes sense. This is where they store the water. Right, by having it top heavy, it forces the water down from its own force of gravity.
Yeah, it's a water tank.
Yeah. If I were to hazard a guess, the water drawn from underground, presumably with some sort of other mechanism, is purified here and stored in that tower before distributed elsewhere. I'm right, aren't I? I knew it! A design brilliant in its simplicity. I dare say it would take only a moment to install it in even the harshest of environments. For a slowpert, that is. Indeed, securing a reliable source of water is the utmost importance for any fledgling settlement. We have read, however, that the people of Ithria sometimes make their homes in arid deserts and such. How are they able to survive?
Dang it. Many settlements in Thanalan are built near an oasis.
That's what I'm thinking. So wherever you choose to live, it's never very far from water. Unless it's Africa, you want to be as far from water as possible, or else you will die from scarlet fever because of all the mosquitoes. Sorry.
Or the alligators. Pick one.
Or the hippos. Hippos are actually more dangerous than alligators.
No, true. Actually, no, it's crocodile. I always get that wrong.
Oh dear, I worry we won't be able to procure the necessary amount. We can provide enough water to keep them from drying out completely, but it would appear they rely on it far more than we'd anticipated.
A few adjustments may be in order once we've calculated the average rate of consumption per individual. It may be worth learning more about how exactly they obtained their water in the first place.
Master Alphino spoke of the machinery responsible for that feat during our journeys through Logisticon Alpha, did he not? Mayhap the Lopritz will share his appreciation for the engineering marvel.
Oh yes, that sounds absolutely splendid!
We must journey beyond the sanctuary of Shirley and Hamlet. I shall lead the way. You mean we'll have to brave the untamed wilderness? No, this is pretty well tamed.
A valid concern indeed. We cannot help but notice the many dangerous-looking creatures with big, nasty teeth lurking beyond the safety confines of this settlement. Were we not escorted here by burly custodians, I dare to think what would have become of us.
Regrettably, to many a hungry predator with the aforementioned big, nasty teeth, Lopritz may appear to be a potential and rather appetizing source of sustenance. Might I impose upon thee to assist in securing safe passage to Logisticon Alpha?
I think we can manage that.
For my part, I shall act as escort to Living Way and Cooking Way. I entrust Singing Way and Growing Way to thy care.
Yeah, we can do this.
A more valiant protector they could not wish for. Godspeed.
If it's all the same to you, I'd rather not be eaten by some horrible beastie.
That is the plan. Not being eaten, that is.
Come along, Growing Way, to the water extraction woodsits.
Yes, highly technical terms.
As long as it's not around to it, we're fine. Okay, right. Hello, Octi. Welcome, welcome.
Hey, Octi.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, we're playing with Orion J and the Loprets. Growing way?
I have a feeling the way forward is not as clear as we'd like. Could you go and take a look?
Perhaps you could tell the local BCs that we're not as delicious as we might appear.
Yeah, but I make a habit of not lying.
Kitten, be nice to the Loprets.
I am. I have no intention of seeing them eaten by anyone. Doesn't mean they aren't still delicious.
There, how about that? I say, that fiend had a mind to feast on roasted leopard. Nope, not with us around.
Thank you so much. I really hope this water extraction Watson is worth these harrowing experiences. Well, part of the fun, some might say, but I'd rather not be burnt to a crisp if it's all the same to you.
I think it's more than worth your while.
It's all fun and games until somebody's roasted alive.
No! Don't roast the lollipops alive! We need them. They're adorable.
Mm-hmm.
Though their singing can get annoying after a while. Don't tell Singing Way I said that. Well, it looks like the gang's all here.
Mm-hmm. And unsinged.
Let's get moving. That building looks nice and solid and safe.
That was all very exciting, but I'd rather not do it again. Wait, how exactly were we planning to head back later?
Good question.
Same way we came?
You've done well to see those two safely, or here safely. They can be a bit skittish at the best of times, so I'm pleasantly surprised they didn't run off and get themselves killed. You are all heart, Living Way.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't help but notice a distinct lack of carrots along the way, or many of the other vegetables I was expecting to see. I did catch a glimpse of some sort of bipedal tomato charging about. Must be my imagination. Alas, it is not your imagination.
Yeah.
As I clean out the earwax from my ear.
My friends, I bid you welcome to Logisticon Alpha. Our destination doth lie at the lift's top. Pray follow me.
Yep, we want to go up. Thank you.
One medial circuit coming up.
Forgive me for asking, but we were very close. But are we any closer to the kitchens? Come to think of it, why am I
Closer? Yes.
here? Atmospheric manipulations are hardly my area of expertise. As I understand, places like Labyrinthos are the exception rather than the rule. Don't you all build enormous underground living spaces like this, surely? No, we don't.
It was terrifying, but at least the scenery was more pleasant than Wasname, Gurlimald. As a first impression of Aethers, it was far from favorable. Yeah, well. Anyway, onwards and upwards, quite literally as is the case here.
Yeah, well, it is the Magna Glacius. It is cold.
And it's not at its best.
No, it's not.
On this occasion, 'twould behoove us to seek the counsel of those qualified to describe the workings of the apparatus. They may also be in possession of schematics of or other useful documentation, should the Loporits request them. As the forum's esteemed guest, 'tis unlikely they would be refused, yet thou knowest as well as I the changeable dispositions of Shirleyan bureaucrats.
Marvelous! Simply marvelous! So this is where the magic, science rather, takes place. The perfect environment to sustain life artificially created. The knowledge we'll gain here will be essential when we start looking for new stars for your kind to inhabit. Apparently, most of them don't even have air for you to breathe. Ooh, that would be bad.
No.
You're
definitely a problem in need of solving.
Yes it is. You're all very lucky Atreus just happens to provide you with everything you need to thrive. Or did mankind turn out that way because of the available resources? I wonder. Either way, it's nothing short of miraculous, and I cannot wait to see more of it. Pants.
Is there cheese in your pants?
Pantaloons de fromage. I should like to study.
Boy, talk about something no one else will know.
Yeah. I should like to study the primitive yet nevertheless intriguing contraption a while longer, if I may. That the Shirleyans were able to build something of this complexity with their limited knowledge and resources is most impressive. Okay, living way's about the same.
Yeah, I would imagine they would all be. Yep. Arianje is.
Okay, cooking way.
Agriculture shock. Cooking Way is eager for a change of venue, or at the very least, a change of what's it.
This is all very wonderful, I'm sure, but I was rather hoping to learn more about your nutritional provision facilities. In other words, where's the food?
I believe both the knowledge and consumables you seek may be found at Marial Agronomics. As I imagine Singing Way and the others intend to study every conceivable facet of this apparatus, wouldst thou be so kind as to escort our visiting culinarian?
Yes, that sounds much more interesting. Hopefully, I'll be able to see firsthand some of the delicacies Arianje was telling me about. In his incredibly vivid, if a bit too verbose, descriptions do not compare to sampling them myself. Not to mention, Atreus will soon be no more, so I must learn all I can while there's still time.
Arianje, you've just been called too verbose by a Loporrit.
Yes, he has. Let's brook no further delay.
A Loporrit that's starting to pick up your speech mannerisms. It would appear I have inadvertently taken upon myself the more demanding duty, entertaining 3 inquisitive Loporrits to thy 1. Yet be that as it may, 'twill be my pleasure to impart what little knowledge I possess to our would-be saviors.
Right. Growing Way's about the same.
Singing Way seems to be new.
Nope, that was before.
Okay. Yeah, true.
Zoom! Off to follow a Loporrit, and hope they haven't been eaten by a stray tomato.
Oof, that would be bad.
That would be very, very bad. I fear for their ears if they scream.
Yeah, wow, that would be really bad for them. Definitely bad.
Ah, there's our missing cooking way. Oh, you made it this far, little guy. This is the place, yes? A heavy aroma was enough to guide me here, and I've spotted several of the fruits and vegetables featured in our compendium. I'd dearly love to try some, but I read that those who help themselves to a farmer's crop without permission are often caught and put into pies.
Not so much, but
It's still not good.
It's still a wise thing to avoid doing.
Perhaps you can ask...
to Peter Rabbit?
Yes, it was!
Yeah!
Perhaps if you could ask whoever's in charge if they'd be willing to part with a few samples?
And now being accompanied.
Come on, Cooking Way. Let's see what we can find. Away from the stray vegetables. Checking for blue spots, though I'm not seeing any.
Nope. There is being unrepentantly boring.
Yep.
What a fine mess this is.
Excuse me.
It's you, the one who climbed down the mine shaft. I'd show you around if I could, but I'm rushed off my feet preparing for the Exodus. I'm not the only one. We've all got to find ways to do what we do down here up there. First on the moon, then on whichever star the form decides will become our new home. It's all so sudden. So unreal.
You don't want to go to the moon?
Well, it's better than waiting for the final days to claim us. No matter how carefully it's all planned, we'll never be able to take every variety of flora and fauna with us. Even the ones we can take may not survive in their new environment. So many species doomed to extinction. Sorry, that's not what you came to talk about, is it?
Nothing quite so dire, I assure you. We were merely wishing to sample a little of your produce, if we may.
By all means, help yourselves.
Much appreciated, my good fellow. So, where to begin?
Not with the Mandragoras.
Definitely not with the Mandragoras. How about some grapes? Grapes are a good start.
High poly grapes, even.
Well, at least higher poly grapes. Oh, I know what these are. Grapes, yes? Let's see if they're as delicious as they look. So sweet, so sour. The taste is much like a ripe philosopher's carrot, and yet the texture is entirely different. The contrast between the outer skin with the fruit within the most peculiar, though far from unpleasant. Yes, I think I'll try another. Rift is having none of this.
Poku's not far behind.
Well, that certainly gives me food for thought, though a far less visceral manner than any philosopher's carrot. But tell me, what is your opinion of grapes? Oh God!
Wow.
The first
yeah,
one
Poku's having none of this one.
is a reference to one of their sub-stories that they've released for free that anyone can download and read of the original Warrior of Light jumping into a volcano to save grapes.
Of course.
And of course they referenced that during one of our questing when we were actually in Elpsis. Yeah, I'd brave erupting volcano for a choice bunch. What has done before will happen again. Yes, they are rather Moorish, aren't they? And from what I've read, quite versatile too. Something about your people stepping on them to make intoxicating beverages, as I recall. Yes, wine.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Don't
that's
tell
enough.
Geralt.
Don't tell Geralt. Our boozy
Okay.
weaponsmith.
Oh.
Though he's more of a mead and beer kind of guy, let's be honest.
Yes, he
here.
is.
Anyway, that's enough about grapes for the time being. On to our next treat. Oh, what do we got over here? It looks like apples! Apple a day keeps the impending doom away.
Oh, if only.
Oh,
Nope. Orange.
orange. Orange by name, orange by nature. What came first, the fruit or the color? Who cares? Let's eat. Don't eat the rind, though that'll make a good marmalade. Yes, that's... Equal parts sweet and sour, as with the grapes, yet nothing alike. I may have to consult Oriange about expanding my vocabulary. I simply cannot find the words to describe it. I think you're looking for umami. Perhaps what the word I'm looking for is bitter? But this is all
Some
very
oranges are.
complicated. You know, so many flavors, so many choices, and with each individual, it's their own personal preference. Now I see why you all turned your noses up at the idea of eating nothing but carrots. Marvelous though they still are in my estimation, let no one say I said otherwise. But speaking of carrots, I've yet to sample any of the vegetables. Let's see what's in the field over yonder. Dang it, now I want some marmalade. Pumpkins.
Oh dear.
Actually,
Are we about to reinvent pumpkin spice?
I hope not. Though I'm not a big squash or pumpkin person. There is a couple squashes I do like, but... That color, that texture... Are they some sort of enormous round carrot?
No, because those are roots and these are gourds.
No. In any case, proper nomenclature is less of a concern than the taste. Blah! It's so hard and flavorless. Might as well be chewing a piece of wood. But all that confirms it. There's nothing more than a misbegotten failure masquerading as a goodly carrot. That's because you don't know how to prepare these.
Stop! Can't you see these are pumpkins? No one with any sense would try eating them raw. You're supposed to cook them first.
Do you not find it an awful bother? But cooking brings out the best of stuff. And Deloise is mine.
Oh?
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Far from it. Cooking is a joy unto itself. And with more, it's broadening the range of ingredients that we may safely eat. But above all else, cooking allows us to draw out the full potential of our produce. Pumpkin stew that has been one of my favorite dishes for as long as I can remember. Then perhaps even these hard blocks of plant matter can become as delicious as an orange I just sampled. I wonder, though, if there is anything even more delicious. How about that yellow fruit over yonder? Yellow fruit over yonder.
Lemons.
Oh boy, they're in for a treat. We usually don't eat these straight. We actually... Yeah.
A lemon tree, very pretty. And the lemon flower is sweet. But alas, the poor lemon is impossible to eat.
What a wonderful fragrance! With luck, I'll have a flavor to match. No, you don't. I've no idea how these are eaten. I'll just bite into it. No! My tongue is the poison.
No. It is not
lemon?
poison.
What do you mean it's supposed to taste like that? How can something
Amazingly, yes.
How can something so similar to an orange be revolting? Because oranges were actually bred from lemons. Oranges are not themselves a natural flavor. They were purely man-made.
I did not know that.
Yes. Lemon is actually a wild thing that you can find. Limes and oranges are complete man-made cultivars based from the lemon. Same with the grapefruit, I believe. I could be wrong on that one. It may be some time before my palate recovers from this ordeal. As such, I had best call an end to my round of sampling. Let's say our farewells and return to the others. Yeah, you use lemon to spice other things. You do not eat the lemon in and of itself.
Talk.
Good grief, I fear that lemon has irrevocably ruined my sense of taste. It's okay, cooking way.
Don't worry, we'll get some lemons, and we'll get some sugar, and we'll introduce you to lemonade.
Yeah, that'll work.
Finished, have you? I trust you found something to your liking.
I'm rather enamored with the grapes and oranges. Less so the pumpkins, though I learned the hard way they're not to be eaten raw. And then there was the lemon, the deceiver. I feel so violated.
First time, was it? I'd hate for you to leave with a bad taste in your mouth, in more ways than one. So I'll give you this lemon muffin I baked. This doesn't change your opinion, nothing will. Ooh.
More lemon? Have I not suffered enough? Oh, trust me, this is good stuff, especially if it's poppy seed. Nevertheless, it will be remiss of me to spurn the opportunity to... a bit of sick just came up there. Learn more of your inscrutable ways. Very well, lemon muffin. Do your worst. This is although I still can't detect a hint of lemon, it complements the sweet of the dough and creates a perfect harmony. I would have never guessed that its vile bitterness could be utilized so elegantly. My good chap, this is simply breathtaking.
See? We rarely use lemon in its natural state, but it has a starring role in all sorts of recipes. The same is true for many other ingredients. It comes down to making the most of the resources at our disposal, and sometimes that can even be the difference between life and death. I know we won't be able to take every species with us. No doubt the forum agonized over what was worth preserving, and what will be consigned to history. Hard choices, but make them we must if we're to survive.
Such strength of will. Now I know what Heidelin sees in your kind. Mankind, the Loperts, we were both born from the accumulated knowledge of the ancients. They learned all there is to learn about nature of the sentient life and the fates of the stars themselves. Once a civilization has fulfilled the basic requirements for survival, it inevitably seeks to eliminate all forms of negativity and achieve perfection. And therein lies its folly, and its downfall. For perfection is an unattainable ideal. 'Tis a paradox of immaculate carrot. Yet civilizations since time immemorial have deemed the pursuit of perfection as progress. They pay little heed to the cost incurred in their futile quest, and all too often become the architects of their own demise, their dreams forever unfulfilled. What, then, is the alternative? The answer lies in the knowledge that existence can never be perfect. To be content with what we have and make the most of it. When life gives you lemons, make lemon muffins!
Close.
Yeah, close enough.
Pardon my Eorzean, but what in the seven hells are you on about? Who are you, anyway?
Cooking Way, at your service! I'm here to prepare for the trip to the moon! Once your kind gets there, you'll be able to try my carrots. I've been growing them, all different kinds. But don't worry, there'll be room for your crops too, and we'll work together to preserve as many of Thayrin's species as possible, if you're up to the challenge.
Yes, of course. I look forward to it.
Well, this has all been highly productive. Probably. Let's go see if Urianji and the others have run out of machineries to inspect, shall we?
Gladly. At least I'll be glad if they have run out of such machinery.
Checking with Jet here.
He's one of the forum's lunar collaborators. Not quite what I was expecting, but he seems a decent sort. Glad he enjoyed the lemon muffin too. Hopefully the next time he has one, he won't be compelled to wax poetic about the meaning of life and the immaculate carrot again.
Don't hold your breath. This is a Loperet we're talking about.
Not to mention, this is a Japanese production, and yeah, everyone waxes poetic about anything, any kind of good food these days.
You say that like that's a problem.
Occasionally it gets a little much. I mean, the 12-year-old kids waxing poetic about hamburgers.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, there is no way they would stop enjoying the hamburger long enough to think any of those things, much less say them.
Yeah. For people, we're referring to the anime Restaurant to Another World, which is actually a very good one.
Yes it is.
But do not watch it hungry. You will hate yourself.
Well, the only problem is if you're not hungry when you start watching it, you will be by the time it's over.
Not to rub it in, but we had the most fantastic time while you were away. Urianji was able to attain all manner of meteorological data for us to pore over, and I'll be sure to put my found knowledge to good use once we return to the moon.
Okay.
It's my duty to make your journey as comfortable as possible, though there's no telling how long it will be. Hundreds of years? Thousands? Probably closer to 5,000, give or take.
You need a better drive.
Not a faster than light drive, you say?
Nor faster than Lent.
Where have you and Cooking Way been? If the two of you were engaged in pursuits of an educational nature, you should have taken me too. I'm the leader, after all.
You're being educated on other things. Oh, there you are. Have the others finished talking about remaking What's-Its yet? Oh dear. Are we boring you? By Cooking Way's broad grin, I assume your excursion was a roaring success.
It was better
successful
than
as lemon muffins.
better than sucking on a lemon, that's for sure. That was most enlightening, especially the part about the lemon muffin. Actually, I was wondering, do you know of any other places famed for their cuisine? Limsa Lumenza is the home of the Culinary Guild and many less than savory establishments.
Yes. We've got to be loyal to the Bismarck.
Yes.
So the oodles of noodles. Ow.
Yes. With that, I had time to visit. The more I learn about Athreus, the more I wish I could spare them from the final days. Alas, Heidelin's orders are to flee, not to resist. If there was only some other way. We're working on that.
Top warriors of light are on the job.
Boom!
Mm-hmm.
Dragoon 90.
Yay!
Do we want to pause here?
Mm-hmm.
It is almost 11.
First talk to Cooking Way.
Muffins? I wonder if this is how Pudding Way felt the first time Urianger made pudding. Though I'm not sure that was actually pudding. Come to think of it, something seemed a bit off. Yeah, that's because you had Urianger cook it, and Urianger is very much a Shirleyan chef, and all that implies.
Worse than that. He's a bachelor. Bachelor Shirleyan cooking. Yes, double bad food score.
Just for that, I'm going to have to go and make some more Toby treats, aren't I? I need to get
Did you
that
make some
thought.
lemon-flavored ones?
Yeah, I could, but you don't like my Roland Berry Toby treats?
We've been on about lemons and lemon muffins and all of that. Lemon Toby treats.
Okay. I'll see if I can make some meringue, some lemon, not meringue, marmalade, lemon marmalade, as opposed to orange marmalade, to make some Toby treats with. How does that sound?
That should work.
Singing Way? Okay, same as before. Or do we want to press on? It is Friday.
No, it's 11. And we're at a good point to stop.
But we're not in a rest state. Let's see if we can find you
amazingly
a
enough,
rest.
we're not at side quests. How did that happen?
Let's see if we can get
They're
you
slacking
to
off.
a rest point. But yeah, I'm gonna have to run something just to see what I can do at 90. Well, the problem is I
need to
don't
test
have
out this fully operational Dragoon.
I don't have anything that won't sink me down below 90.
What's the latest engine we've done?
It goes to 89.
Okay.
Yeah,
You need to go to the story to get to your 90s.
Yep.
But this is now my second 90.
Yes.
My first
After
one
fishing.
after fishing. Because fishing. But it also means that we should probably break in the story once you hit 90 so we can do our class quests or role quests.
Yeah, but the next quest turn in will probably get me to 89.
Talk to the lift operator. We actually knew someone for a while, they've since kind of gone their own way, who really loved acidy things.
Oh boy, yes.
They would literally buy the most putrid lemons you could think of, chop them up, and eat them straight. They made a kind of scene with another friend of ours who at the time was into brewing beer because they took all the citric acid that was meant for brewing process and ate it straight. They thought it was the best thing ever, ate the whole bag, and then wondered why they had acid blisters in their mouth for the next month.
Yeah, well.
And that stuff is expensive. And that was kind of the last time they actually brewed beer, which is sadness-making. And that friend made actually a really good pomegranate mead. Oh my gosh, that thing was awesome. And their blueberry mead. Oh, we're in the rest zones. Take a seat. Get a good cat nap in.
Ow.
We will totally be back tomorrow afternoon, evening, probably about 4-ish, 5-ish, somewhere in there.
Something like that. That's usually what it ends up as.
In any case, thank you very much for joining us. It looks like we're starting to head towards endgame. Or at least getting closer.
Of course, the next quest is 88. I think it's been 88 for a little bit, so we're probably approaching the end of the 88 section.
Yeah, so my thing is that we should probably start our role quest push before we get on the ship to head back to the moon. That is what
Assuming
my gut
we go
says.
there by ship.
That is my gut saying, though. In any case, you all have a great evening. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back again tomorrow, like we said, at about 4-ish, 5-ish Pacific, and we'll just take it from there.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good night, all.
Yeah,
Night,
everyone
everyone.
have a good night.